Have you ever accomplished something you've always wanted to accomplish?
Okay. I used to be afraid of the world outside my door, so I lived within the pages of a book. I used to be so scared of what I couldn't control. It seemed whatever I touched, I broke. The wind at my back, the grass so green, the sun on my face, it was all a dream. Till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I'll help you stand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning. And as long as we are together, life can only get better. I used to be embarrassed about my eyes, my nose, my smile, so I hid my face behind my hair. I spent so many years feeling like I was drowning. Now finally I'm coming up for air. Laughing out loud, being part of a team, touching the stars, it was all a dream. Till you said, wake up, wake up, wake up, take my hand. I'm here for you now, I understand. The world isn't so frightening, it's not all thunder and lightning. And as long as we are together, life can only get better. Life can only get better.
Good morning. Morning coffee. And I don't have any. I don't even have water this morning. Why? Because I haven't technically gone to bed yet. It is Monday morning. But I was so uncomfortable, I just couldn't sleep. Yeah, I just couldn't. So it's 1:15 a.m. and I've been in here for an hour. And I just thought, well, what the flip? Let's just go ahead and do our morning video. So, I've just had a lot of things on my mind. I have so many things on my mind, I don't even know what to say. And talking to me is genetic. Oh, wow. So, here's the thing. This is probably going to be really, really quick today. Spent the weekend, my wife went on a trip down to St. George with her friends. And quilting party with like 15, 16 ladies. And so I got to be mom and dad this weekend with my kids and hang out especially with Ruby and Roman. That was nice. That was a lot of fun. Saw a really cool, an unusual movie on Angel Studios called Sketch. That was very different. If you're a parent and you have Angel Studios, watch that movie. That was different. Very, very different. Anyway, I've just been thinking a lot about how I look at the world, how I interact with people, and how I want to make the world a better place. How I want to make the world a better place for writers and creatives. Which is why I've been working on this project for, I don't know how many years. I made a master world building course. And World building is such a wonderful process to me. It is so much fun to create living, breathing, not literally, but living, breathing creatures and dilemmas and situations, and to craft heroes that matter, that actually have morals. I'm not a fan of the anti-heroes. It seems to be the way that society's going, and Hollywood's gone to hell. TV has gone that way. And I just want something more and better. And for a while there, I needed some help with creativity. I've never had a problem with writer's block. That's not a thing. And yet I needed to organize, and I wanted to put the creativity that I've had in my mind and the way that I think and the way that I write and draw, I wanted to put it into overdrive. And so I did. And then I fine-tuned this system to force my brain to be more creative. And then I approached my friend David Farland and asked him, has this ever been done before? And he was away on a writing retreat. He was working on a book. And I figured when he does that, it's probably going to be a few weeks before he gets a hold of me. But I just wanted to ask him that question. And he got back to me in like 5-10 minutes, sent me an email. And I had explained the concept, what I wanted to do, and I'll share that in just a sec. But I asked him if this had ever been done before, and he said, yeah, one time. I can't remember, at least not this morning, I can't remember how long ago it was, but he says it was done once by Isaac Asimov, and you cannot buy that book anymore. It's out of print. He says you have got to develop this for your generation. Cool. Okay. And so I worked on this advanced world building. Now, granted, it's done well. It's done very, very well. And I'm told by many writers that it's helped them considerably in their writing. Awesome. What I didn't bring up in all these years, I think I published it in like 2017, maybe earlier. I'm not sure. I'd have to look up the copyright. But it's been selling steadily ever since it was published. Awesome. But what I didn't mention was all the things that truly, well, I held things back. It wasn't that I was trying to avoid things so much as I have a habit of giving everything away. Everything. And this was something I didn't want to. This creative portion of my brain that I had figured out and analyzed and tested. And it worked consistently. And I decided to change that. I decided to share, well, a formula. And a lot of you who have spent any time with me writing or discussing, you've heard me talk about trigger questions. And it's different from a prompt. A prompt is an idea, something that sparks an idea, and you start writing from that. Trigger question creates connections. It asks questions in such a way that it forces your brain to be creative, and exponentially so. And I took the trigger questions and put it in this process, which I jokingly called the Upchuck system, named after Chuck, one of my characters. So I didn't really mean vomit, but it actually worked out really well because it makes you vomit your ideas out on the page. And formed a new advanced world building course. And it's live. And it's doing really, really well. So I wanted to mention that this morning. And I think this is going to help a lot of writers. And the fun thing is that it doesn't matter if you're a noob, if you're trying to do this, write something for the very first time, or if you're a seasoned writer. It can help clarify and fine-tune your process. I believe it'll help everybody, which is kind of fun. But yeah, it's live. And it's doing really, really well. And that's what's on my mind today, is writing, is wanting to matter. That might sound silly. I know we spent a lot of time together. You look good this morning, by the way. You look rested, unlike me. But to matter, I don't know why that's hitting me so hard. But wanting to not take a different path, but to find I don't know how to explain this. I'm looking for something right now. And something's happened over the last 2 years. I've been on Substack for almost 4, I think now. Let's see, 2021. I joined Substack in 2022. Wow, 4 years, or almost 4 years. And something has happened along this time. I believe my capacity as a writer and as a creative has grown. Substantially grown. And I've also had enough experiences since being on Substack to realize I need to change the way that I do things for long term. And that means that I have to make some adjustments. Now, don't worry, I'm not making some weird announcement that I'm leaving or doing less or something like that. This is more of me trying to explain why there seems to be a little bit of a lull. Yes, you get your weekly, the serial, the chapters are there with Wendell, with Chronicles of a Hero. But there's other projects and things that are being set up. And I'm also transferring my books over to setting them up on Vervante. My hope is to use them as my printer from now on and into the future. And so I'll be selling my books directly from my websites, from my PayHip store. And that takes time. That takes a considerable amount of effort, and I want to try some new things. I've even been considering maybe doing a Kickstarter. I gotta know whether or not enough people would even be interested. I tried Kickstarter well over a decade ago, and it did not go well. But I didn't know how to advertise. I didn't know how to get the word out, and that's probably why not many people saw it. But I've been considering that. I've been considering, other programs, other things that have allowed me to make a living and make money since 1986 that I don't see anybody putting information out there for writers and creatives. And I don't know why. I've never wanted to do it because I figured somebody else has probably already done it. I mean, I don't want to flood the internet with stuff that already exists. And yet there are things that have allowed me to help care for my family that I don't see anyone else sharing or teaching. So, I guess this morning coffee is more like morning confusion. I apologize for that. But if you'd like to kind of put your writing to the test, or to solve your creativity permanently, go to advancedworldbuilding.com. I connected that. I've had the domain for ages, but that's now connected to that course. So advancedworldbuilding.com, that'll take you to that course. Yeah, you can go ahead and look at the reviews. I asked for a bunch of reviews to be done and posted, and I'm really happy. I'm getting feedback from students, and we're making little tweaks because, of course, I want everything to flow. I want to be able to solve challenges and convey everything clearly, and so far it's turning out really, really well. Yeah. Now the next project is to see how many tens, if not hundreds of thousands of writers I can get to come over to Substack. That's actually one of my goals. So I'm working on the next course and see if we can get more writers, especially more fiction writers, because I still want to take over Substack in the fiction department. I want fiction to be the most popular thing on Substack, not politics, not the stock market, not any of that. Fiction. And I'm going to see if I can convince fiction writers to migrate over to Substack. Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's all I got today. I might think of something later, but I'll save it for next week. It's been a good week. It's going to be an awesome week. You're going to have a good day. I can feel it. You're going to have a great day. Yeah. So do that on purpose. Have a good day. Have a good week. Remember, you are more than you think you are. You are. We'll see you again next time.